Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. Welcome to part two of a two-part series of making a website in a very simple way using Lovable. So, in the first part of the series, we did the front end, or most of it for that matter. And if you don't know, front end is just like mostly what the user sees. So, very simple stuff. And essentially, how I did this was I just did some prompts with Lovable, told it a couple things to do, and there we had it. Now we're doing part two, which is the back end. And back end is normally seen as a little bit more complicated. It's where the website stores your data, allows users to log in, etc. And it's really essential for the website to actually function its purpose because you can have all these pretty looking things, but if none of them work, if none of them save your data, then you can't interact with the website and you're not going to build a long term user base. So, just to refresh everybody as I sign in here, which is the first feature of the front end, and then you could also just sign up, listen to your email. We made a book tracker website where it tracks the books you read, and then when you fill it in. And so, just to walk you guys through it, what we actually made the working. Let's go with Sorcerer's Stone by Harry Potter. Sorcerer's Stone, then by J.K. Rowling. Then all you have to do is look up a cover image. Ultimately, I'd want to integrate some type of API key to make this work. Sorcerer's Stone. I should add Harry Potter. Harry Potter and oops, that's not and a sorcerer's stone. So essentially, what you have to do right now is just fill out this data. So you copy the image address. Traditionally, very hard for them to do addresses, so I just made it that. This is a fiction. Let's go with fantasy. It's a fantasy novel. I have completed it, obviously, and I loved it. So I'm gonna give it 5 stars. And just for the sake of today, I've read this when I'm like kindergarten. Let's just say I read it then. Something I took away from this was that it's really important to have a good, supportive group of friends. So then you hit add book, you get some cool confetti. It shows that you have that book. You can always edit or delete it if needed. Then when you go to my library, it's there along with two other books that I did. You can see it by the statuses, like currently reading, completed, etc. So we are going to go to completed. You can see fantasy, fiction, science fiction, all dependent on where you ask. You can also search by author. Then we have a dashboard that shows you how every book that you've put up here you have completed, and you have read one fiction, one science fiction, and one fantasy. So that's just there to compile and synthesize your data. And obviously, for me, the books I've uploaded have all been fiction, so I would use that however I want. And then this would be just if you want to start a new book. Then lastly, we have what I think is kind of cool is your recommendations page. This is where the user is able to interact with other users in the sense it's able to see the highest rated books. And if you refresh, it should come up now. There's Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone. It can see the highest rated books as well as the books by genre. You can function through that. So the more people that interact, the more ratings, etc. So now all this is super cool. And as you can see, there's a lot of both front end stuff that we built in part one, as well as new back end stuff, whereas it's tracking it, there's a book recommendations, you can make an account, etc. So what I'm going to do is actually walk you guys through how to do all that cool back end stuff. So first, I'm just going to scroll to the top of the level of page before I started using the back end, which is here. As you can see, so the SQL, anything you see that SQL is back end. So there, it's all the back end up here. So essentially what you do to connect a project is you connect it with Superbase, you make an account, connect it on Lovable. Then once you're on Superbase, you can see all your stuff, your authentication, your storage, your edge functions, and your real time. And then you can go to authentication, and here's all the emails. You can see those are my roommates, but everything else is me, my emails. And you can also go to the database, see all this stuff going on. So this is essentially what's being built right now. They have the user ID, all that stuff being saved, and you can go to storage where you'll have your buckets. But right now, yes. And so I know all of this looks really complicated, but it's really quite simple because Lovable and a lot of these built-in software engineer AI websites, they actually have Superbase built into them. So literally what I do is I'm like, hey, I want to connect to Superbase. I want to make it use real data, user accounts and login. And you just tell Lovable what to do. It builds you that code. You review it, say, this looks good. then it just runs a SQL through Lovable, and you're literally doing nothing aside from making an account in the first place. But yeah, this is my website. I'm going to leave a link to it below for anybody that's interested in using it. And I really encourage you guys to just go out there and start iterating and building your own websites. As you can see, in literally 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, you can build your ideas into reality just using Superbase with a very simple backend as well as Lovable. Now, one thing before I let you go is Superbase and building Lovable in general does have some security concerns. So I actually integrated an API key into this that I'm going to be changing, obviously, because I showed you guys. But once you start doing stuff like that, it will show. Like if I go to publish, it shows how there's two security issues. And when we're no coding, it's really tough. We have to be cognitive and even aware and know what those security issues are, but we have to be super aware of them. So what I would recommend is if you're going to actually take this stuff to the market and really be looking to make it widespread, either just talk to somebody you know that's a little bit more familiar with coding, like upload some screenshots of ChatGPT of the security issues to analyze how um relevant they are and whether or not you need to fix them, or even use a website like Fiverr to maybe contract these security issues out to get them fixed. But aside from that, yeah, here's the website, gives you the book recommendations, all that sort of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this is Dana part two, the cool, complicated, but actually really simple back end work. So thank you all.